Hi everyone, Chloe Luzone here. I'm one of the supervisors at JCC Brooklyn Windsor Terrace. Welcome to my kitchen. I just want to take a moment to say that I hope that all of your families are staying safe and well during the COVID-19 pandemic. We really are looking forward to welcoming back all of our families really soon. In the meantime, I don't know if anyone else is like me, but as soon as the weather starts getting nicer, I am obsessed with all things iced coffee. So this is something that has, just been steady since I was probably a teenager, obsessed with iced coffee. And recently there's been this trend for something called Dalgona Coffee. It's basically like a whipped coffee. It originates with South Korea. It's a South Korean beverage, the Dalgona coffee. But if you've ever been to Greece, you've also seen frappe, which is their version of a whipped coffee. I was there last summer. It is so good. We're going to do that in my kitchen right now. So lately I've been starting off every morning with this coffee. If you've seen me on Zoom sessions, hi to our families, you'll probably see me sneaking a sip of this during our sessions. It's really delicious. It's pretty easy to make. Highly recommend a hand blender. I will get into that. But right now I am drinking decaf coffee, so that will be our first ingredient. But highly recommend this if you are into caffeinated. It is an Israeli company. It's called Elite Instant Coffee. So instant coffee is our first ingredient. Our second is sugar. And our third is just hot boiling water. So it's going to be equal parts of all three. So in here, I highly recommend something that is long and narrow, just because if we're using a hand mixer, it tends to splatter. I've done it in a bowl before. I don't recommend it. My kitchen got very messy. So I have resorted to using something that can fight back all the splash. So I already have in here 2 tablespoons of white sugar. I know that people have done different substitutes. So people have done stevia, people have done maple syrup, people have done really different versions of this. I haven't really played around with it yet. This is what I've been going for. So it's equal parts of everything. So as I said, 2 tablespoons of the white sugar, 2 tablespoons of the instant coffee. Again, I am using decaf. You're welcome to use whatever is your choice. And then 2 tablespoons of boiling water. Now what we're gonna do now is we're going to take this electric hand mixer and we're gonna whip it up. And it might take some time, bear with it. I know the first few times I started doing this, it was not as whipped as I would have liked it to be, just because I probably wasn't patient enough. So the funny thing here is that I tried to do it with a regular hand mixer the first time I did it, and I was probably standing there for about 15-20 minutes. It was my morning workout. Highly recommend it. Made my muscles very strong. But I've moved on to making my life easier. So I'm going to go ahead and whip this up for a couple of minutes. I'll spare you that process, but we'll be back shortly with our results. Okay, so I am back from mixing. I took a few photos of what it looked like throughout the process. So it started out dark, and it quickly started getting foamy, and then next thing you knew, can't navigate to the camera, we had whipped coffee. So it kind of looks just like whipped cream. What I have prepared here, and we're getting really crazy during this quarantine, I have some almond milk in my wine glass. So the great thing about this is that you can use any milk of your choice. So I personally am an almond milk girl, oat milk, regular milk. Feel free to play with it. I know that I've read some people have added Baileys, pumpkin spice Baileys. Really welcome to try anything that works for you. So let's get this into our glass. And you can see how light and fluffy it is. All right. Well, I will zoom in on that. So this is what it looks like at first. It doesn't incorporate with each other until you go in with a spoon and you just start shaking it up. And it becomes really light and delicious. It's pretty sweet. You can adjust the sugar as needed. I do believe that sugar is required for the process in order to help it whip up. So I wouldn't recommend removing it altogether. But that is the making of Dalgona Coffee. So thank you so much for joining me. As I said before, we really hope to see all of our families soon. You know, it's definitely been a difficult time for a lot of people, but I hope that, you know, we can continue to lift each other up through these videos and just continue to have a great time over our Zoom sessions with our little kids. But in the meantime, if you celebrate, happy Easter, happy Passover. We'll see you soon.